We are back with the Incandescence podcast. I'm here with my co-host Jackal
Hello there.
and our guest for the week, Addie. How about you introduce yourself?
There's nothing much to say, I guess. My name's Atticus, aka Addie. I'm 17, and I like to think I'm pretty cool.
That's a better mindset than most of us.
Yeah. What do you typically like? What do you do? What's your main thing?
My shtick.
Yeah.
I like to say I am a band kid, but let's be honest. I'm just there to get out of most classes. I mean, I love my music, but it can be a hassle sometimes, you know? Besides that, I am an artist and a full-time poet. I compete in barrel racing too, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, I'm not really the most interesting person on earth.
You're also a Minecraft person, which
Ah,
we're gonna go with.
that is
'cause
true.
That's the
That's
only thing
true.
we all have in common.
So we all play Minecraft, as do most people who play video games, as it is the most sold game ever.
Yes.
Yes, it surpassed
I think
Tetris, I
it
think, a
just,
couple years ago.
Yep,
I
on its
think it
10th
just
anniversary.
really brings out the gay in me at this point.
The what?
I think it brings out the gay in me, you know, with the bees and the stereotypes for Minecraft nowadays. I think it just shows Atticus is a bisexual that doesn't know what their gender is.
That's fair.
That's fair enough.
Expressing your sexuality via Minecraft. Gotta love that.
Literally. Do
The
we have to
ultimate
talk
form.
about how every single shield I own is some sort of pride flag?
I did notice that.
I need to do that.
Yeah, I do that really often.
I don't decorate my shields enough. I should do that.
I always forget that that's a
should.
mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not hard. It's just time consuming because you need to make a banner, but.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Banners are fun, though.
That's true. That's true.
The
Hmm.
Minecraft server we're both on. I heard there was like an event today. I wasn't able to make it, but
Yes. I wasn't actually able to either because I was in a test and then doing some personal stuff. But yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Vice and I are in a server together. Some of you may know it's the Cookie Dough server. So it's run by a Twitch streamer by the name of Alec Martin. And yeah, so we have been running an event because coming up in April, is it April? Yeah, it's April. Is Cookie Dough's 1 year anniversary. And we're very excited to celebrate Cookie Dough's birthday. So we're getting ready to celebrate, you know? So every week and then like a specific day in the week, there are different events, different kits in game that you can choose. And we have a bunch of other really cool surprises planned out.
I need to get on this server.
yeah, it's pretty sick.
Oh my gosh, you do, yes.
Well,
You
I
actually
have
might,
gotten
we
on
might
it.
have a slot for you.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I will join when I can.
You
I'm
totally
gonna be way
should.
behind, and I'm probably not gonna play enough.
You know
'cause
what?
I
That's
only
actually
enjoy early game.
okay. So the last event that we had, because I'm assuming most people that watch this don't know, we did an event and a contest where basically, if you had TikTok, then we asked you to post basically an ad for Cookie Dough, right? So just advertise the server, and whoever got the most likes, shares, comments, views, that kind of stuff, we gave them a kit and something else. I'm sorry, my mind is blanking a bit. But yeah, and I think within the last day and a half, I want to say, we got over 100 new members just from that. And like being an admin in that server, it's crazy because the server is divided into like two separate servers. So there's Cookie Dough Blue and there's Cookie Dough Pink. Basically, it's just to help like lag in the game and to make sure everything's a lot more accessible. And being someone who primarily played in Pink, which is supposed to be like the more low-key, quiet server, it is crazy. Like we went from only having like maxed out at 20 people. Usually that server has way more than 45 people in it now, which is insane, and we're so excited about it.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I've only been
It's
on
not.
Pink, and with my laptop is struggling occasionally when there's a lot of people
Oh
on.
yeah, mine too.
You fools with laptops. I can't really say
Shut up,
much, though, 'cause I
Jackal.
have
Some of us are broke artists, okay?
And I'm just broke.
I mean, I only have a 1063 gig. That's not much better than a
Yeah,
laptop.
see why? Yeah, you can't diss us when you have that, okay?
Do you remember when you were complaining that your whole computer would lag when your background changed?
That's true.
honestly.
It did. My
Okay,
when I had the
for the
default
record,
background. Oh, sorry. Continue.
my little laptop would never, okay? So don't diss my laptop that's covered in really shitty gate stickers when your hunk of junk can't even change a background without completely fucking its shit up.
You're not wrong. It was absolutely hilarious. When I had the default Windows background, I would basically like I was just doing my thing, and I'd notice whenever I was playing a game that every once in a while at like rhythmic intervals it would lag, and I soon discovered when I hooked up my second monitor, which by the way is literally just a 10-year-old TV. I noticed that whenever the background on the default background changed, it would lag my game. It's
Oh my
absurd.
god.
Okay, my computer used to run beautifully all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but just in the last like couple months, it's been really bad. I don't know if I accidentally downloaded something I shouldn't have, because often I will acquire movies and TV, and I don't know if I may
Acquire.
have I don't know if I may have gotten like some malware or something, because my disc is at 100% almost all the time, and I don't
Oh
know what
my
that
God.
means.
That
I
means
don't
your
know either,
your
but I feel
computer
like
is
that's not
doing
a good
a
thing.
lot of stuff all the time.
Yeah, sometimes it's when I have like two Blender tabs open, and then my
Oh, that
computer
was
says,
it.
no, no, no. And sometimes I'll have
No,
a
no,
Google
no.
Chrome tab
Oh
opening,
god.
and my computer will say, you can't do that. Like, it will struggle with Google Chrome more than two Blender tabs and like a game capture card open.
I think something's wrong with your laptop.
Yeah.
For the record, I just want to declare that my laptop has never had any problems. Never once. The only problem is I'm procrastinating restarting it for its latest update.
That's fair.
That's always a
That's
problem.
it. That is it. Otherwise, she's a fucking beaut.
My PC. I really need to upgrade it if I'm gonna continue with this whole streaming thing, because I want to get into like VR chat stuff, but at the moment I just can't. Like it's not possible. VR chat is so stupidly unoptimized that I can't stream and play VR chat at the same time. It's weird.
What would you need for that? Like just more, like just a better GPU, or?
Yeah,
Just
I'm
more.
bottlenecked by my GPU. I have enough RAM. My CPU is pretty good. It's just the VRAM in the GPU,
Oh,
which is causing the issue because
yeah.
it's a pre-built, which basically means they threw the shittiest thing they could in there, which
Okay.
was a graphics card with half of the VRAM that it's supposed to have.
Okay, did you know the the graphics, no, not the graphics. The computers at our school don't have graphics cards.
Oh yes, I'm
They
aware.
don't. Yeah,
And
they don't.
at least the upstairs
They're
ones don't.
crap.
The
Oh, none of them do. There's like one computer in the whole school that does.
It's so whack because we're meant to
Like, I
render
find it,
stuff and it takes like 12 hours to do like 10-second
yeah,
animation.
I find it so funny too that like the school has like the graphics classes and like the computers courses, and yet they don't have the basic equipment to run the courses properly.
Yeah, it's pretty whack.
Like, come on, it's like 3 clicks away.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then
not
there's
actually,
the
but you know
other,
what I mean.
yeah. Then there's the other school downtown, which has a literal VR room.
Oh my god,
Is
I
that true?
know. Yeah, they
Yes,
do.
that's true.
Holy crap, I didn't know that.
It's incredible.
That is crazy actually.
Can you imagine just kind of taking a VR course? I'd do that. I would hella do that.
I would definitely do that.
Oh, I don't even like VR, but I would take that just to say I took it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to ask though, why don't you like VR?
Okay, it's not that I don't like it. It's I've had bad experiences with it. So last time I used VR, it was at a house, my friend, and so she has like a huge VR setup because like her whole family is gamers, like her mom, her dad, her
Yeah,
and
I
her
used to.
brother.
Her
Yeah,
brother
they're all
definitely.
gamers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and she didn't tell me that there was a horror game in the VR setup.
Oh, which game was it?
I don't know and I don't want to know, but basically, I turned on the game, literally spun 180 degrees, and flipped my shit because this huge ass zombie came at me out of nowhere and like screamed. And then I screamed and I threw the goggles across the room and did not stop laughing for a solid 20 minutes.
Nice.
That
This is
was
why I
No, it was not
exclusively play
nice. It
Beat
was
Saber.
terrifying. I did not sleep at all that night.
I don't like horror games too much, but I would love to play. There's a VR horror game called A Chair in a Room, and it
Oh yeah.
looks fantastic. It's
Okay, what you need to play is Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. That is a fantastic game.
Is that like based
It's
off
like
of the like
yeah,
TV
it's a
show Walking
Walking Dead,
Dead?
except it's a franchise game that's actually good, which is insane.
Are the Telltale ones any good?
I'm genuinely not sure.
I've
I only
heard
really
mixed, yeah. I've heard mixed feelings on those.
but as you know, I only really play VR Chat and Beat Saber, so
Yeah.
Oh, I've
I'm
always
that
wanted
guy.
to play Beat Saber.
You gotta, it's so fun.
I want to play it so bad.
And
Just
occasionally
do it.
Sword and Sorcery or whatever that one is.
Blade and Sorcery,
Oh.
that's a good one too.
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with mods, so I need to fix that. But also, my PC can't handle it. I have it running at 760p, and
I
it's
bet mine
still
could.
dropping frames.
I bet my laptop could.
No, no, it could
Yes.
not.
Yes, it could. I have faith in my laptop, okay?
You should go to like
Try it.
Okay, my laptop has lasted through me falling on it, my cat trying to eat it, my dog slobbering all over it, and my late night snack fest. I think it'll be fine.
Does that have any bearing on whether or not it can run Blade and Sorcery?
Yes.
No.
Because it has survived this long. I think it'll survive for much longer.
Maybe it'll survive, but that doesn't mean it'll succeed.
you should
I
just
suppose.
go to like Goodwill and just buy a whole bunch
Goodwill.
of like just any mechanical device and then just take them apart for parts and just build your own GPU.
I own Mega.
Build a GPU. Right. I'll just do that. I'll add that onto the list of things I need to
Yes.
do. Not only am I building knives, I'm building GPUs as well. That's a business.
Yes.
That's something you can put
Oh
on your resume.
yeah. Oh, completely off topic from video games, but I actually have a blacksmith friend besides you.
Oh, sick. Who's that? Oh, wait. I
Uh,
shouldn't ask
no,
that.
it's all good. He doesn't even live in the same town as us. He lives in Ontario.
For context, for everyone that's watching, I am. I'm not sure if I've said this, but I am a bladesmith. I create knives. Yeah, that's about it.
And I am not, but I have a blacksmith friend who lives a long ways away.
Have you seen
Yes.
the like new update kind of
Yes.
screenshots with
Oh
the
my gosh.
The
amethyst
mount.
stuff?
You
Oh,
do not know how excited I am for this update.
I
Besides the
do.
new cave
Equally excited.
mobs, I'm not ready for those things. I have troubles with zombies.
The
I am
new
You're
not
not
ready
at
for
all.
those things.
the
The
new
You're
wardens
not.
or whatever they're called.
Yeah, they're called wardens.
Yeah, I
They're
am
probably
not
going to
ready
explode
at
now.
all.
in the new biome and everything. The new
But
biomes
I
just in
am,
general look
oh
cool.
my gosh, the new caves and mountains are going to be so great. I
Yeah.
already have so many plans. Oh,
I'm
it's
planning
going to be
on doing
amazing.
something with Lush Caves because I
I got,
already spend a lot of my building time just on caves.
yeah.
So once I get this stuff, I am going to be absolutely just ecstatic.
See, being a builder who like really likes to incorporate the terrain and like plants and like the world around my virtual self like into my builds, I am so excited to get my hands on these new plants and these new biomes. The mountains are going to be my new best friend. That's all I got to say.
Yes. Also, the dripstone. Nope. What's it
Yes,
called? Deep
yes.
slate. Deep
Dripstone.
slate.
Dripstone.
No, I was talking about deep slate. The
Oh
fact
yeah.
that
Oh, the
in
like
two
brick looking
updates
thing?
we
Yeah.
got deep slate
Okay.
and blackstone. Now we can
Yes.
like make gradients in your walls with
Yeah.
brick textures, and I
Yes.
am
And
so excited.
I'm excited for the new cave update in general, obviously. But amethyst and copper. Oh, the ideas that I got.
Yes, I think amethyst needs a bit more implementation because
I
Yeah.
right
think
now it's
so
not
too.
super useful.
I mean, maybe there's stuff that they haven't actually released and like could be coming up, right? But though
Yes, theoretically.
I highly doubt it because it's Mojang and they don't hide a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I feel like there's a chance that they're gonna bring in amethyst a lot more than they're saying they are.
Yeah,
If
maybe we
that
can like
makes sense.
even do some like stuff like glass with amethyst. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think there's something like that. Like I heard there's like a spyglass or something, but maybe that's
Oh,
just me
there is
getting
a
ahead of
spyglass.
myself.
You
Okay,
craft
yeah.
copper with amethyst, and it allows you to zoom.
Yeah.
It'd
That's gonna
be
be awesome. I can't wait to use that.
it'd be
I
pretty
just
cool
use
if they like got kind of lesser gemstones like
Yeah.
just of all colors, and then you could have colored light sources that you make with those.
Well, I know they are making colored candles, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, candles don't really compare to colored gemstone lights. But I'm really excited for the candles too. There's a lot of really cute ideas you can do with candles.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
that sword one with the end rod.
Yes, I
And
can't wait to add that to cookie dough.
yeah,
Oh, that's gonna look so good in the townie that we built.
I'm
One thing that
realizing that
sorry,
gemstone idea is just like Terraria.
Oh, it totally
it is.
is, but at the same time, why not mash up the two games?
Yeah, fair enough.
Why not make one mega game?
I think the best way to implement that would be like change it from just amethyst geodes to like randomized between a bunch of different gemstones.
Yeah.
That would be
And then
nice.
maybe you can craft gemstones together with like redstone lamps for
That
colored
would be
light sources.
so cool, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
Kinda
like
like,
sea lanterns
Yeah.
and you have colored light blocks.
oh, that would be so cool, especially because sea lanterns are so simple. It would be really easy to switch the colors of those.
Yeah. Or glowstone, because it's much easier to get.
That's true, yeah.
But who actually uses glowstone? Sea lanterns.
Me.
Exactly, so this would be...
I use glowstone.
Oh.
Well, you're wrong.
For you. Okay, I'm joking. I don't actually use it. I use redstone lamps. But you need the glowstone for the redstone lamps, so.
True.
But
I
now
find that I
people
always
would
use
use like glowstone on its own. You could have the crafting recipe be like
That's
one of
true.
these colored lesser gems in the center. Just surround it with glowstone like a chest pattern, and then boom.
That would be. Yeah, I mean, that would be really cool.
Yeah,
Kind of like how you dye glass.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Or concrete.
Yeah. Or carpet.
Is carpet in 8s?
So.
I think wool is in 1s.
Yeah,
It
wool
is.
is 1, carpet's like 8.
Oh, I
Because
didn't
I
know you
remember
could dye
making
carpet
it
after
for.
you make it.
I was making it for my llamas because I logged on and there were like 7 llamas beside me, and somebody keeps stealing all my llamas in the server. So I was like, you know what? I need all of these. So I made like 15 leads to make sure I had enough because I didn't count how many llamas there actually were. Led the llamas back to my place, put them all together, tamed them, and then started making carpets. And I just remember thinking, why is it so hard to dye carpets? And why didn't I just dye the wool in the first place? Like, that would have been so much easier than whatever I had going on in my head. But I think I was just really excited.
By the way, you only need 1 lead to bring back a bunch of llamas.
Yeah, I know, but it was in the moment, and I was kind of just thinking, like, oh my god, I need to get them. All of them.
Fair
They're
enough.
mine.
It is still
And
a rather
I just,
unexplored mechanic, though.
yeah, I just kind of went crazy.
You're gonna have
So
to make
if anybody needs a lead on Cookie Dough Pink, let me know, because I probably have all of them.
You're gonna have to make like a llama storage somewhere for
Yeah,
your llamas keep getting stolen.
I
Just
know.
sell
I'm gonna have to like hide them somewhere.
My
Just at
stuff
this
is
point.
They
my
can't steal them.
my stuff is pretty hidden. My whole base and everything
Oh yeah.
down at Bedrock. I
You've
got
Oh
given
yeah,
me
that's
so
true.
much.
yeah, cause for people who aren't on the Cookie Dough server, or actually in our town specifically, I'm making like a big crypt at the like underneath the town at Bedrock.
Yeah, Vythe lives in a crypt.
Yes. And there's a,
Yeah.
a tomb for everyone. So then everyone's
It's pretty great.
yeah.
Not gonna lie. So we have to update it. We have a lot of new members.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Make
if
it
y'all are
too
ever in
easy.
Cookie Dough, you should hit up me and Vythe because we've got a lot to show you about our world.
I am officially hitting you up now.
I'll link the server in the description of this podcast.
That would be absolutely amazing. If you guys are interested in Cookie Dough, then we would love to have you. We're a really open server, and I mean, yes, this is totally me bragging because I'm a guide, but we're pretty cool. Yeah, so there's towns, and we actually opened up new PvP arenas because at first there was like no friendly fire whatsoever. But we started opening up PvP arenas, which are pretty cool, and we have like an in-game shop system, and we have like actual banks and stuff. And like each town is so different. It's just so beautiful to explore all the different towns. Like there's some that look like farm outbacks. There's some that look like little rainbow cities. And then there's mine and Vythe's Alfheim. And ours is based off of Elvish lore, which, you know, it's pretty different than the rest, but I think we make it work.
Yeah, Elfheim in Norse mythology is one of the nine like worlds, and that's where the like good elves live, which for some reason is separate from like the other elves.
Which I actually find really funny considering we constantly make fun of each other. But I think that's a story for another time.
How's everyone's first week of the new octet going?
Oh my god.
It's a trip. I'm in Spanish at the moment, and it's just 7 hours of Spanish every day. It's awful. There is no
7
stopping.
hours of Miss going. She gets scared over the stupidest little things. Yeah, so we did an experiment and yeah, so I don't even remember. It was like collecting gas in a tube and then you hold like a little fire under like a stick that's on fire under the little test tube.
if I
And then
if I remember
it makes
correctly,
like a popping sound.
yeah, it's
And every time
it's the combination of zinc and hydrochloric acid,
yes,
and
that
it releases
that
like hydrogen gas like H2, and then
yeah.
when you light the splint under it, it creates like a vacuum as it combusts downward, and it makes a popping noise.
Can we not talk about my explanation versus Faith's explanation of their experiment? But yeah,
I'm not even gonna
every
try.
time. Okay, so our teacher has been doing this experiment for 21 years. And every time she does it, and every time it makes a pop, she goes, she gets scared. And she doesn't go, ah, like a regular person. She just squeaks. She squeaks.
I've had her before. She does that. Remarkable.
I mean, she's a good teacher. She's just very
She
funny.
is.
She just has, yeah,
She's very quirky.
yeah,
And I say that unironically too.
yeah. Jackal, how's Spanish been? I've heard some interesting things.
No me gusta español.
I did not understand a word besides you saying Spanish.
It's fine.
I didn't
It's
recognize
been
Spanish.
long days, and we don't stop. And this
Oh
teacher, she basically she teaches in a very unique way where we basically don't write anything down. Like I tried to take notes
Aren't there
earlier
no
today.
desks in that classroom?
That's correct. We don't have
What
desks.
the hell?
That sounds kind of cool, actually.
I
So
tried
it's
to
all
take
verbal
notes.
then.
Yeah, it's all verbal. I tried to write something down, and she stopped me from like taking notes.
What?
Like I'm just sitting in the back of the class writing definitions down so that I can remember them,
Yeah.
and she just says, "Hey, what are you doing writing? We don't do that here."
We don't do that here.
It's
I love
an
that.
odd course,
Spanish
but
is
it's fine.
Oh my
is a
gosh.
scary language. I would not learn Spanish. Granted,
It is.
I would learn Spanish over French because French is
Ugh.
like objectively
Don't-
the worst language. If you
Don't
speak
get
French,
me
I'm sorry.
started. Hey,
It's not allowed.
I speak French. It's no offense. Being somebody who's been in French immersion, I hate it. I
This
am
is
so
why I
done.
didn't do that.
That program. It's a program. I can English. That program was the worst experience of my life. Does not compare to the bullying. Does not compare to the terrible people that I met. Worst experience of my life. There is the teachers that do not know how to teach the grade. Then there's the expectation that you're an A+ student because you're in French immersion. The expectation is that you are an A+ student who can handle the pressure of moving so fast in a classroom where you haven't been speaking French every single day of your life. If that makes sense. Then there is the lack of proper communication and the lack of proper support for the students in the programs. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's terrible. And then the actual language is so weird. I mean, I do not want to offend anybody. I just don't get it. I am multilingual. I speak English, Punjabi, and I am not completely fluent, but I speak French. And honestly, even though French has the exact same alphabet as English, French was so much harder to learn than Punjabi. And I don't know why, but it just was. And it kicked butt.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really say much because we're English speakers, and English is just awful.
Yeah.
But
English, in my
Yeah.
opinion, makes more sense than French, but it's not. English is not a very good language
But at
in
the
the
same
world
time,
stage.
we have red, red, red.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
But
Orange and
also,
orange.
doesn't French have, like, I think just a bunch of things that are pronounced ton,
Yes.
and they're all spelled differently.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
The thing
But at
about
least
French that I don't like, that is the reason why I'm
the
not taking
verb
that,
tenses are the worst part.
is the fact that like there's gendered words. It's like that's so confusing and like
Oh,
a
it
needless
is.
detail.
That's common in almost,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
most languages have
English is
that,
one
though.
of the
Most
only
European
languages that
languages.
doesn't.
Mhm.
English is actually one of the, like, New English. So it's actually one of the only languages of my knowledge that doesn't have something like that. But once again, it's from my knowledge. I could be completely wrong.
I think
But
Mostly just in the Anglo-Saxon languages.
yeah.
yeah,
Or Germanic, I should say. My bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm just
yeah,
thinking of like
it's really hard. And like I talked to a bunch of people about it. Like there was only two teachers in all of my years of French immersion that I actually liked. And one of them was the only one that I would ever trust to have this conversation with. And I was talking about how non-binary people, like myself, well, I'm genderqueer, but still. So what would we go by? Because there's the masculine and then there's the feminine. But what would be the they them in that situation, you know?
yeah.
And it was really weird. Like it's so he in French is il, she is elle, and then the they from what we were able to conclude is like il. So it's like elongated, basically. I don't know. It's kind of weird, and I think it's really outdated, and it needs to be a bit more inclusive, or at least Canadian French, from what I was taught, just needs to be a bit more inclusive to the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a big...
Canadian French is not a real language, okay? Let's be honest.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
It's
It's
kind
a
of like
joke.
a dialect.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
But like real French is I have a little bit respect for. I still don't a little bit more respect for. I still don't like the language. I wouldn't take the time to learn it. But yeah.
You get it. You get where it comes from.
Yeah, I think France has uh some beautiful
They've evolved
culture.
a lot more.
I think
And yeah,
and I feel like their history is
I
incredible and
agree.
interesting, but their language, nah.
Nah.
This is
we
why we need
baguette.
to learn conlangs.
We need to learn
Yes.
Japanese, the only language that makes sense, because there's like
You
100
freaking
words for everything. There's like 10 words just to mean one in different contexts.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
Japanese
true.
is weird.
You can never be
You
misunderstood.
know what? Screw all of it. Let's all just learn Morse code.
But
There
in
still
what
needs to
language?
be a
That doesn't
language.
solve the problem.
That's true. That's true. Oh, speaking of Morse code, my my orthodontist, his last name is Stone Cipher. His first name is Morse. Morse Stone Cipher. His great grandpa helped write the Canadian Morse code.
That's crazy.
You've told me about this. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's
right?
really interesting.
And he was the quirkiest dude too. Like, I'm talking, he looks like if you turned Kermit the Frog into a human. You know how you'd imagine him with like the cotton shirt and like the corduroys, you know? And then
You had to do him like this.
And
all
then
That was
along.
so
when he talks,
disrespectful.
just listen, I'm not done. He like the way Kermit moves when Kermit the Frog is excited is the exact same way this dude moves. Exact same. Okay? With all the hand gestures and all the bobbing of the head. And then to top off the whole ensemble and the whole experience, he had neon pink and neon green palm tree socks.
Oh my god.
This dude is a living legend, and I swear by that.
He sounds like
Oh, I
the
love that.
drippiest man of the century. Holy
Oh my
crap.
god, yeah. And have you guys ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
No.
Okay,
Some
well,
episodes.
the main character of that show is Ted. And with his mask on, this dude looks exactly like Ted from How I Met Your Mother. But as soon as he takes off his mask, he looks like a completely different person. It like changes everything about him. Everything you'd imagine he'd look like goes out the window.
There are actually a lot of people I've noticed like that. Like people you meet during this COVID time.
Because like, okay, so with his mask, his head looks pretty like squared off, you know? He has like a very masculine head, if that makes sense. But then as soon as he took off his mask, like to like demonstrate something, like to show me something in his mouth, right? To like show where my teeth should be. I don't remember what it was. It was like a hazy, it was like a fever dream. Let's just say that. His head looked like a freaking sphere. It all of a sudden went from a square to a circle.
That's... Yeah, I guess like a mask can really mess with your perception of someone's head.
Apparently. Oh my god. This dude is a living legend, and I live by that. Holy shit.
Why are orthodontists always so interesting?
I don't know, but the dude is cool, and I want to know more about him.
Orthodontists are very like rich people,
Like,
but also
who the hell is an orthodontist named Stone Cipher?
a lot of them, like, because it takes so much schooling to become an orthodontist, similar to a doctor, a lot of them don't have like college time social lives, so
Oh, that's true.
they're like very unique people a lot of the time.
Yeah, he's a special one. But anyways, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had like 2 or 3 orthodontists, and all of them have just been really interesting people. It's weird.
I don't think I've ever been to the orthodontist.
I've only been
Well,
once, and
my
it was
face was a
quite
freaking
the
train wreck.
experience. Quite the experience indeed.
I think
So-
I need to go to the orthodontist because
Just for
My
the experience.
teeth don't line up. I noticed. I was looking in the mirror and I was like, why? Like, I put my teeth together and it's like they're not. Like, my jaw goes to one side.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
wanna get that
Um.
checked out.
That might be
So,
after my like tooth surgery earlier this year.
do you want
but
me
I
to?
don't know.
Do you want me to break down what it's like going to your first orthodontist appointment in
Sure.
COVID?
Yes. In COVID
Okay,
specifically.
in COVID. So to start, a week prior, you have to get a COVID test and hope to God that it comes out with a negative before your appointment arrives. So that's the first step, right?
Mhm.
And then you have to fill out this huge checklist, not once, but twice, saying that you don't have COVID symptoms and of everything medically wrong with you.
Oh no.
I'm talking everything from nervous disorders to mental illnesses to if you had a brain tumor, like everything,
That's gonna be
right?
a long list.
I know. I'm just sitting. I sat there with my mom, and she's like, "Do you have to tell them you have a mental illness?" And I'm like, "Do you want me to lie to the doctor, woman?"
Yeah, I don't know how that would
Anyways,
have an effect on it, but I
so
think
then,
it's the medications they give you. And
yeah,
if you
I'm pretty
have,
sure it is.
yeah, if you have like specific ones, I think there's stuff where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, are you taking medication for it? Because
Oh,
I
it
think
probably
they
is.
can
Yeah.
only ask if you offer that information.
Um. So then they're supposed to call you the day of the appointment, right?
Yeah.
I never got a call. Never. I waited 3 hours. They were supposed to call me the night before. And I kept on checking my phone that night, and then I kept on checking in the morning. I didn't get that call. So I go to the office and I call them. Nobody answers the phone. So I go inside and they're like, "Excuse me, miss." And I'm like, "First of all, not a miss. Second, what's up?" And she's like, "Don't you know the rules? You're supposed to be outside." And I'm like, and then you wonder, well, what am I supposed to do? They never called. My appointment was supposed to start 10 minutes ago. And now I'm being yelled at for being inside the building.
Hmm.
And then you deal with that, and then they take your temperature, and if it's all good, they take you to the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this lady with this big ass camera with like this giant ring light comes into the room, and it's like, "All right, sit on this stool. We're going to take some pictures." So they take views of your front and then your side profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a
And it's
mugshot.
good. Yeah, like a mugshot. Except this one you can smile without getting in trouble. And then they take pictures of your mouths, which is mouth, which is when you actually sit in the chair, right? So you sit in the chair, they lean you back. It's really cool because the chair is automatic and like she just clicks a button and all of a sudden you're laying on your back. Anyways,
Like those fancy
and
dentist
then
chairs.
yeah, but fancier.
Oh.
I consider
Yeah,
myself a
like
dentist chair enthusiast.
yes, like a 2030 version of a dentist chair.
They always got those like light things they just bring down right into your eye. They're
They
like,
literally
hold
okay,
still.
instead of having to, yeah, basically. And then and then all of a sudden she takes this piece of a mirror and she's like, "Okay, I'm going to warm this up and you do to stick this in your mouth." And I don't have a big mouth. Like I talk a lot, but I don't have a big mouth. So I'm trying to fit this giant ass piece of mirror inside my mouth so she can take proper pictures of my mouth. And then on top of that, she gives you these little prongs that you have to hold your cheeks away from your mouth with so she can get a proper view of your mouth. So you have this giant mirror in your mouth, and then your cheeks are being pulled apart by these two things that are that you have to pull as hard as you can. So your cheeks don't get in the way of the shots. And then she takes pictures, repositions the mirror, takes more, etc. Right? And then she's like, "All right, you can sit back down." So you go and you sit back down beside the desk, and she just leaves. She's gone. sit there in silence for like 15 minutes, and all of a sudden, Dr. Stonecipher comes in looking all Kermity with the girl that took your pictures. They pull up the pictures, you look at yourself in the picture, you look like you're on drugs because of the amount of ring light that they used. Like, I'm talking, you see the rings under my eyes, I'm looking scared as fuck. And they're like, you have a beautiful smile. And you just sit there like, shut the fuck up. It's 8:30 in the morning. Can we get this over with? And yeah, that is... And then they explain what they're going to do. So, like, for me, it's like a year of braces. But before they can do the braces, they have to put, like, these rubber stoppers on my teeth so I can't bite closed all the way. It's this whole thing. And then they send you home with a quote about how much it's going to cost. Then you look at the email that has the quote and you're like, oh shit, this is $5,000 for 2 pieces of metal and 2 rubber gaskets that they're shoving into my mouth.
Yeah,
And
dentist
bam,
stuff
that is...
and orthodontist stuff is like 1,000 times more expensive than it needs to be. It has the inflation rate of diamonds. Like,
and
what the heck?
The worst part is I'm allergic to like nickel and copper. So chances are it'll be like 10 times more expensive than they actually said it will be. Anyways, that is what to expect on your first orthodontist appointment ever during COVID when it's 8:30 in the morning and you just want to go back to bed.
I have enough dental problems, I'll just do it myself at some point.
Bop boom.
Custom orthodontist surgery. That's
Hell
me.
yeah. Get flames on those bad bitches.
I have spent far too much time at the orthodontist. I got an expander when I was in grade 1 or 2. And then I
remember that. You had a list for like a really long time.
Yeah, because it was the size of like, it was freaking massive.
It was a fucking 2x4 in your mouth.
Yeah. Imagine like just attaching to the roof of your mouth like a little piece of PVC pipe and then trying to speak.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I could not speak above a whisper for like a week.
I am not excited to get those rubber stoppers put in my mouth because I
You're gonna be
literally...
fine. It's fine.
Okay, but the reason that they have to put them is my front, bottom, and sensors are like pushed back. So what it does is they're glued onto my teeth so I can't bite down fully, so I don't break the braces in my front teeth, which means my mouth is going to permanently be a gap for at least a year.
Yep. It's honestly not as much of a problem as you would think it is. I had them for like 3 years and it wasn't an issue. You forget it's there. I had the expander for a year and a half-ish, and then I switched when the roof of my mouth grew over the expander. They had to take it out, and I switched to braces. That was not a good experience, ripping that thing out of my mouth. Yeah, then I switched to braces, and then I had those for another 3 years-ish, until I think like grade 6. Then I switched to a retainer for a year and a half. Then I switched back to braces until like halfway, like first half of grade 11, which is this year. Then I just got them off, and now I'm on a retainer again. So it's been like 10 years, and I'm still going. Because you should have seen the X-rays from my first appointment. It looked like a car crash.
Oh no.
I've had 7 teeth surgically removed because there wasn't room, and that was after the expander, which made room for teeth. Like, it was an issue. I'm good now, though.
I've had 1 tooth removed and the root because it was so far dead that it would periodically like leach black liquid into my mouth.
Oh.
And I was like, they're like, oh yeah, we can charge you a lot of money and maybe save it in like 25 years. And I said, no, rip that bad boy out of
Take it
there.
out.
Yeah. Because I recently, at the beginning of the school year actually, day before the first day of school, I had a very large tooth surgery, as in every tooth in my mouth had work done. Including my, like, all my front teeth and stuff have metal on them now. Uh, just on the backs. And then, of course, I had that tooth removed.
Take care of your teeth, guys.
Yes, please do. It's
Or
not.
or you end up like me where you take really good care of your teeth, but your teeth just don't like you.
That's
And they
you
go,
can
time to
actually
ruin the vibe.
you can actually have
After
like, yeah, genetically worse teeth, and I do have genetically worse teeth. Like they're bad.
So do
that
I. And
combined with the
it's
fact that you drink like a
really sad.
monster every day or two.
Hey,
Yeah.
at least I'm
Plus
not
the fact
drinking
you're, like,
two and a
Okay,
half
addicted to
liters of
Vice.
pop every day
literally.
anymore.
Vice, do we need to talk about how you pulled up to school this morning with a Java monster in your hand and you stared at it for like 10 minutes?
Were you watching me stare at that can for 10
Well, no,
minutes?
because I glanced over and you were just staring at it. So I glanced away to start studying, and then I glanced back to see if you were still staring at it, and you were. So I got intrigued and I wanted to see how long you were staring at it, so I timed you.
You timed me?
You yeah,
Oh my god.
staring at that can for
Okay,
at least 10
listen,
minutes.
okay, so I don't eat breakfast, so I was having the internal debate of, I was thinking, my stomach is hurting. Is it worth it to drink this right now and make it a million times worse? And then after 10 minutes, I
Yes.
came to the conclusion, absolutely. And then I drank it.
It was so funny.
And then
Oh my
I felt
God.
all shaky for the rest of the day, but it
And
was
then
totally
and
worth
then
it.
the exchange student behind me, he like leaned forward and he's like glancing at that kid. He just and I'm like, I turned back and I'm like, don't worry about it. And I just continued staring and timing
Oh.
you.
I wish I could have seen this. Vice, you were telling me last night in VC about how you were gonna bring a monster, how you had to like get up a little earlier so you could have time to
Yeah.
buy a monster when you're
I
late.
If I know I'm getting a monster, I leave 5 minutes early so I can go and do that.
If you go 5 minutes early to get one when we get back to school after the break, you should get me one too, because I need caffeine just as much as you do.
If you pay me, I will. I have 70 cents in my bank account, so.
Oh, I still will.
You fools, I'm $500 in debt.
I could literally find like a loony on the sidewalk and more than double my net worth.
I did that the other day. Actually, it was like a month ago. I was like cleaning my room and I found a bunch of quarters, and the amount of money in my possession was increased by like, I think, what was the percentage? Like 2000% or something? Because I had 14 cents.
Well done.
So I'm gonna count that as a win.
Yep.
Being a failing artist, I don't know if we want to talk about how all of a sudden I'll have $50 and then it's just gone. And then I
Oof.
don't have any money for a solid 4 months, and then somebody takes pity on me. It's like, yeah, I'll buy your art. So I have another $50 and then it's gone again.
What
I
I
should
noticed,
commission that.
what I noticed is the more money I have, the faster it depletes. Has anyone else noticed that?
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Like I'll
Oh,
have
yeah.
I got some money
Like-
a while ago and I just immediately spent all of it on art.
like
Me too.
I'll have like $20 that can last me a week of like going and getting like pop at the dollar store or something like that. If I have like
Yeah.
$50, then I can probably I'll spend that in like a day or two or one big purchase. and if I have like
Okay.
$200, that's gone in like 5 minutes. It's
Yeah. Amazon.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I had my birthday passed in February, and I had gotten like at least $200, right? Because nobody knows what to get me ever. Nobody knows me, my family. And yeah, so I'm like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do with my money. I put 60 of it into my school account, and then I'm like, oh, I never bought my boyfriend a proper birthday gift, even though his birthday was a month ago. So I got him a late birthday gift. So that leaves us with like about $50 by the end of that, right? It was gone. Just gone. I don't know where it went,
Just
but it's gone.
disappears.
It was probably
I feel
snacks.
that.
Not gonna lie, it was probably snacks, but it's just non-existent anymore.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I got probably $150 for my birthday in February as well, and I spent about 75 or 80 of that on one art commission, and then 30 on another art commission for a 3D model, and then 60 on a third art commission
Oof.
for a GIF.
Oof.
And now I have no more money. But
I
it's fine, because now I have 3 more files on my computer.
at the
All for 3 more files. Oh
But hey,
yeah.
they're really freaking cute.
Fair enough, that's true.
over the
They are.
summer, I like worked a little bit, so I got like probably around $800 to $1,000, something like that. And like I spent probably $500 or $600 just on like this manga set, and that was just where like most of my money went, was towards
You
that.
also bought a katana.
My second katana, actually.
You bought a katana.
I have two katanas. One was from my birthday, and the other I purchased with my own money.
I have a sword, but it's like a traditional Indian sword. And it's too dull to actually do anything but give you like a really bad bruise.
Yeah, same with these ones. They're more
Give
decorative.
it to me and I'll sharpen it.
And one of mine is like a
No.
cosplay kind of sword. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't have very cool blades, but I do have 2 really cool shields that I made. I have a Roman scutum, like the tower shield.
Yeah.
And I have a Crusader kite shield, both of which I made. They're fun to make.
Oh. So I get my love of like knives and stuff from my older brother, right? Like he's the guy who wanted to get throwing knives for his birthday and he didn't get his throwing knives, so he bought himself a $300 set of throwing knives. So anyways, so I was at my aunt's house, which is where my older brother was living at the time, because it was just easier because my aunt lived like 5 minutes from his campus, right? So in the basement, he had his stuff set up, and I'm in the basement and I'm playing video games, and my aunt comes down to do laundry. And there's a giant wolf spider on the floor. So she
Oh.
grabs one of my older brother's swords. Like, I'm talking a sharpened sword. And goes, "You do not come into Indian household," and then cuts the spider in half by
Holy
throwing the sword at it.
wow. What kind of sword was it? Like a claymore or a
katana.
scimitar? Oh,
It was a katana.
that's fantastic.
It was. And
Is
she's
she an
like,
anime protagonist?
she's not. She's a crazy Indian lady.
Close
It
enough.
was so funny. And then she holds the sword up in the air and she just lets out this battle cry, then puts the sword away and continues the laundry.
Fantastic.
It was a showstopper.
Wolf spiders are scary,
Okay.
man. I don't.
Oh, I hate those bitches.
Yeah.
I sleep in the basement in my house.
Same.
Every so often, one comes up right above my bed. And I remember one night I was on FaceTime with my boyfriend and he was really tired, so he like started dozing off, right? And then I noticed this giant ass wolf spider above me and I start crying because I hate spiders. And I'm like, babe, there's a spider above me. And he's like, uh-huh, uh-huh. And I'm like, yeah, what do I do? And he's like, I don't know, kill it. And then he goes to sleep. And I'm sitting here crying as there's this wolf spider above me. So I grab a cup and a spatula. Because that's where my mind went, a cup and a spatula. And I go to like scoop the spider into the cup, and instead it lands on my bed.
Oh.
Like it jumped. Okay, I swear to God, this thing did fucking parkour off the cup, off of me, and then into the bed.
Oh.
Oh,
And I
no.
grab the phone and I'm like, baby. And I'm sobbing. And he like somewhat wakes up and he's like, what do you want? I'm asleep. And I'm like, the spider's in my bed. And he goes, eh. And then hangs up on me.
Oh, ooh.
I slept in a sleeping bag in the garage because I didn't want to be anywhere near the spider.
I feel that. I also
I
sleep
hate
in the
wolf
basement,
spiders.
except I have a cat door in my window
Like right
directly
next to your
above my
bed.
bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
it doesn't always close fully.
Oh.
Oh god.
So I have it locked right now because it's too cold outside. But when it was unlocked in the summer, I would regularly wake up in the middle of the night and just see spiders all over my roof. Like
Oh.
without exaggeration, this one time when it got lodged partially open, um, I woke up at about 2 or 3 a.m. and quite literally squished 5 spiders that were
Oh.
on my walls.
Oh.
That was the point at which I decided, hell no, I'm closing this fucking door.
That's yeah.
I
There's
would
And that was
never.
like a nightly occurrence. That was awful.
I have some crazy spider stories. So like in our upstairs bathroom in my house, occasionally my stepbrother will forget to close the window that's there. And normally that's just like, oh yeah, that's like he's a little bit forgetful sometimes. And so it's like, yeah, just don't do that cuz stuff gets in here, like spiders get in here. But
Yeah.
one time he forgot and I guess we didn't catch the spider and it like laid
Yeah.
eggs and
No.
and my mom killed in the high 60s of spiders in that room.
Holy shit.
It's a small bathroom. And it was like we
That's
were counting them
disgusting.
and it was ridiculous. Like high
I've had that happen,
60s.
yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
hate spiders.
Last year, or like a year and a half ago now, I had a spider nest behind my bed.
Oh.
So they would every night there were about 3 little baby spiders that would crawl up my back wall, and I just killed them
Oh.
for like a couple weeks.
I don't know
And
if. Oh, sorry, you're not done. Continue.
okay, yeah, it's fine. I think right now there's one behind my desk, but I've gotten so used to it at this point that I just leave them alone.
Oh, that's not good.
Gross.
I mean, I
Yeah,
despise
that's
them with a passion, but as long as they stay more than a foot away from me, it's fine.
then it's fine.
I have
Yeah, that's fair.
my whole room I've sealed with like insect killing foam. So like because I'm in the basement and there's a lot of like bricks and stuff, there's a lot of like little holes. So I've sealed everything and there's 3 doors that lead to my room and I've sealed one of them completely with insect foam. And I put there's this stuff it's technically safe to eat. It just like dries you out. Like it I forget what it's called. But basically I just like line my window with that.
Uh-huh.
And if they do enter my room, they die on that line because they're so small. Like even the big ones should technically die there because spiders have low like liquid content,
Yeah.
and so they just die there. I have truly desecrated a spider just once, and that was a spider that I sprayed with Raid and then trapped in a cup, and I came back like 10 hours later and it was still moving, and I said, "No, no,
God
no.
damn.
This thing is not allowed to live." So I set it on fire.
Oh my god.
And
Fucking
it
arson.
yeah, like I took it outside, I cut off its legs, and I set it on fire. And I said never again.
Oh shit.
It was a wolf spider,
Um.
so it was fine.
Okay,
But
fair enough. It's a wolf spider.
yeah.
What my sister
Um.
usually does to kill spiders is she just gets like a little custard cup or something and she just puts it on them and then leaves them there for like 5 days until they starve.
Your sister is fucking amazing.
That's fantastic.
I remember. I don't know if you guys remember, but in like grade, I want to say it was grade 8. I went to Japan and India with my mom, my sister, my aunt, and my uncle. And so when we went to Japan, we were staying with family. I'm not Japanese, but my uncle and his wife live out in Japan. And they live in this really secluded small town, like 30 minutes outside of Tokyo, right?
Mhm.
And this town just happens to be in a bamboo forest. So there's like a lot of insects around and like animals and all this other stuff. And we went for a walk at like 10 o'clock at night because we were hungry. And Japanese 7-Elevens are a fucking godsend when you're hungry. Not gonna lie. They're like little grocery stores. Anyways,
yeah.
so we start walking and then we go down this staircase that leads you from the top of the hill down to the bottom of the hill where like the gas station is, right? So we go down and then all of a sudden, coming from the lamppost is this silhouette of like this spider. It was like a shadow, right? And it had to be like a meter big. Like it was
No.
Yeah, no
huge.
spider on earth is a
And
meter
I
big.
no, the shadow,
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Oh,
not the actual spider.
I was gonna
God,
say
no, the
that's more of
spider.
an Australia thing.
No, the spider was like on a web on top of the streetlight,
Oh,
but
I see.
its shadow was on the ground.
Yeah.
And I remember screaming, grabbing a stick, and just yeeting that bitch at the spider from like 3 feet away. And it was like 3 meters above me. And I just remember throwing that stick as hard as I can. And I hit a cat.
No.
You know, like in animes and stuff, when you hear like the cats screech in the background,
Yeah.
it was that.
No.
It was that.
If I saw that, I would have just like
my
swiftly walked away because I
my
do
aunt
not
and
mess
two
with spiders.
my aunts and 2 uncles looked at me and they're like, "Run!" And we booked it. I mean, nothing would have happened because they literally live in the safest town, but all of us were terrified of the spider and how big it looked. And like, even like when I actually saw the spider on like the lamppost, it was a decent sized spider. Like it had to be bigger than a wolf spider. Like it was huge. But
I
yeah,
mean,
that is probably my worst spider story.
yeah, I mean,
I have some spider, just general bug stories because I went to Costa Rica. Basically, we went to Costa Rica a couple years ago, and we explored the forest a fair bit because my
Mhm.
brother, or kind of brother, I guess it's fine, is from Costa Rica, so he did that a lot when he was younger. Basically, there was no guide or anything. We just went into the wilderness, and we saw some insane, just insane critters. Then it's awful. Like the centipedes are so large and they're everywhere.
Oh,
One night, actually, this wasn't in the forest, it was in our hotel room. Um, it was kind of just chilling in between the sink and the wall,
Oh,
and it was like
ew.
6 inches long, and it was so fast.
okay.
I hated it.
That makes sense because everything in the that's close to the equator, there's always just whack stuff there in terms of insects and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's true.
It's because the heat brings out these crazy uh things to evolve into that.
yeah. But
Yeah.
the one I was actually going for was the tarantula we saw,
Oh,
which was basically we were going on a hike on an actual established trail, which was nice. But we well, he noticed, my brother, that is, he noticed some holes in the side of the trail
Mm-hmm.
because it was on the side of a mountain, so there were little holes in the dirt. And he decided, let's grab a stick and poke it.
Oh,
So
hell
we did,
no.
and it was just a legit tarantula, like the size of a comparable to the size of a computer mouse.
hold on. He's lived there, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
How did
So
I
he
know
just
that's a
decides, let's
tarantula
poke
den.
it.
How did he not?
Oh,
Like,
he did. He wanted to
oh,
see it.
oh, okay, that makes more sense.
So he just says, let's poke it.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
That
much.
is, okay, excuse me for the stereotypes, but that is the most masculine thing I have ever heard.
Yeah, fair enough.
The tarantula den. Let's just poke it with a stick.
Granted,
I mean,
tarantulas.
his mom did the same thing.
The
That's just
Poke it with a
something
stick.
with the people.
tarantulas
God.
are much easier to kill than regular spiders, and I believe
Well,
they're less dangerous as well.
I know that, but still,
I don't know who would do that though.
it's still a
I
tarantula.
would do
Exactly.
that. It's not that fast.
No,
What's it gonna do? You
no,
got a
but
long
just
stick, you poke it.
it's
You
very.
just poke
I
it.
don't like them.
Yeah.
Jack, look, did you just say just poke it?
Yeah.
I would get a
What's it gonna
lacrosse
do?
stick. I'd get a lacrosse stick and just
Fucking beat
yeet
that
him
bitch.
yeah.
No,
Just
you
send
just
him.
poke it, and then if it starts chasing you, you just run a little bit and you move on with your day.
No, I'm fucking obliviating that thing.
It's fine. It's fine.
Australia spiders, on the other hand, I will
Oh
never
yeah,
ever
they're
go to
gonna
that
shoot
continent.
Oh
something
my
at
god.
you.
I was talking to my Australian friend. He's like, yeah, the other day I saw a redback in my bed. It was fine though. For context, redbacks are extremely deadly.
A picture will be shown
And
now. Thing.
and he just brushed it off his shoulder
Welcome
and
to
said
us.
it's fine. Like, what is wrong with you people? Are you just that used to being on the verge of death?
Granted, most poisonous spiders are kind of exaggerated. Like black widows, most of the time they don't bite you on purpose; they get stuck in clothing. But I would still never ever be okay with a. It doesn't matter if it's poisonous. Just a spider being within 10 feet of me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, that's it for this week's podcast. Thank you, Addie, for being our guest for this week.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, I'll link your socials in the description, so everyone make sure to go check that out. And yeah,
Awesome.
You all have a lovely, lovely day or night or whatever it is where you are from.
unfortunately, I'm gonna have to kill you now.